What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 24 of the AllDriveNoDrop podcast, joined by David from Tickle My Pickleball. What's going on, David? How are you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. We're getting some warm weather here. Honestly, just I wasn't paying attention to the weather, and all of a sudden, yesterday and today, it's been in the 40s. I know it's been like in the 50s in some places. We have all the snow melting. So, maybe spring's in the air. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. If the courts weren't so wet, I might have jumped out on an outdoor court and just, felt what it feels like to be outside. How are you enjoying the weather? You were outside the other day, weren't you?
Yeah, so what's funny was when we were in Vegas, we were all talking about how we hadn't played outside in a while, and then we're all just like, man, we hate the wind. Whoever wants to play outside? Because I think for most of us creators, we all record indoors, and so we're
Mm.
like, I haven't played outdoors in a while, and we're all just blaming the wind at every point. Like, oh, that wasn't me. That was either Perseus or it was the wind. So
It's funny you should mention that because it's especially in the spring, and then a little bit in the fall too. Like it's just a lot windier, and it is a lot harder to record content because you're like, well, the gameplay is just so bad when it's windy. It's like it takes so long to get good stuff to
yeah,
use, and then there's the sunlight might not be good. So, that's why I'm glad I got two facilities opening nearby me. So at least I have a place to go indoors. I mean, of course, I love playing outdoors. I play tennis outdoors. I
hmm
golf. Like I do love being outside. So I'll still play outside, but it is not always ideal when the weather doesn't cooperate. So
yeah, for sure.
yeah, and I do like get drained in the heat. How hot was it in Vegas? Was it like 80s? Or
Uh, I want to say it was maybe like 70s, 70s, 80s around
oh,
there.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's perfect. I
Yeah,
love
it
I
was
love
not
a
hot
nice
at
70.
all.
Okay, it was just too windy.
Yeah, it was really
Okay.
windy.
Yeah, I love it. I love a nice like 90 or not 90s. Love a nice nice 70s. Not 90 90s. I'm dying. I'm gassed out at 90s.
hmm
But yeah, so a lot of stuff going on pickleball, paddle wise, pro wise. Spartus Apex series came out. I believe you have a review out on that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have a review out on it. And it's only on Amazon, right? They're not selling it on their site
Oh,
for this moment.
for this moment, yeah, it's only on Amazon right
Okay.
now.
Okay. Amazon only. That's an interesting move. I wonder why they only went Amazon and not just like both. Just to get people acquainted to Amazon like we did. I that's a because
Yeah,
wouldn't
I'm
Amazon
not
take a
sure.
cut from them?
Yeah, I think they're trying to get into the Amazon business, and what I'm thinking is like I think if they price lower on Amazon and then like the website's like a different price, it's kind of weird, maybe. Um,
Couldn't they just price it the same on their site though?
but then like for the site, they need to track the discount codes versus when you use Amazon, it's like tracking our personal codes for Amazon, like the link.
Oh, okay. So if they show the price as like not like say 90 and it goes down to 80 on their site, but it just shows 80 on Amazon. But they could probably do the same thing. Like I think some companies do that where like they don't like Paddletech doesn't do a discount anymore and they just track the sale via
Mm.
a link or a code. Probably doesn't matter to anyone listening.
Yeah,
But
I don't
anyway,
know.
it's like it doesn't really matter. So those are out. Engage Pursuit Pro ones go out tomorrow, February 26th. Actually, this this will probably already be out because I don't think this will be posted by then. But yeah, Engage Pursuit Pro hybrids and wide bodies. I already have a review out.
So the Pro one,
David will.
the hybrids, so the hybrids the Pro one and the wide body is also Pro one.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
series is Pro One. They already have elongated out in the Pro One, and then the Pursuit Pro One, and then this is just an addition to that series
Got it.
is the
Okay.
Pro One hybrid and wide body. They play like it's been a while since I've played the elongated, and some people were asking me, and I didn't have it on me, but I remember that one being a lot more powerful. Like I feel like it's one of the bigger jumps from their elongated to the wide body of the series, and I think it's because that handle is so short on the wide body that really like
Yeah.
limits what you can do with like it's a 5 inch handle. I think they list it as 5.25, but it's 5 inches. And the 5 inches might be generous to be honest. So I think that really affects the power you can generate. At least for me, it was not the most powerful, but I really enjoyed the hybrids.
Yeah, Negate always does that thing on their websites where it's like they don't go like decimal values. They always do fractions, and
Oh
then
my gosh,
I just I
I
couldn't
was
do the math.
converting those. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to convert all. Yeah, they're like 3/8 inches. I'm like,
Yeah,
but everyone talks centimeters and millimeters. I was like,
yeah,
I can't list 3/8 inches. Although it's weird for the grip circumference and handle length, that stuff everyone does inches, but then like other stuff they do centimeters and millimeter. I like how does everyone decide what to use? I don't know, but we
yeah. It
should
was like
standardize.
when Josh was like talking about increasing the warranty, and he was like 180 days, and I just woke up. I was like, how many months is that? I was like 3 months, Josh, and I was like, wait, hold on,
Yeah,
that doesn't sound right at all. I
yeah.
was like, oh, wait, six
No one
months.
says 180 days. They say months. Come on, just wild stuff coming out. Yeah, I assume that's 6 months, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
six
sounds
months.
about right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just to clear that up. And then what else is happening? Franklin's coming out with their C45 March 5th, and then Joola's coming out March 4th. So kind of unfortunate timing, I think, for Franklin. We'll see
Yeah.
how that goes. I'm gonna have a Franklin review, and I think I can post it anytime from what I remember. I don't know. We'll see when that's out, but definitely got to get that out before the Joola reviews come out because that's just going to, flood the market. But Joola doesn't have a hybrid, so
Yeah.
if you're really into hybrids, I mean, Joola doesn't have it.
And from what we hit in Vegas and from what we saw, they don't. I don't think there are any plans for any. So
I'm really surprised they didn't have they didn't do a new shape. I mean, they got three different elongated shapes and only one wide body. It's like interesting. They have like I don't know is if elongated is the least popular shape now. Obviously, amongst the pros, it's probably still the most popular.
yeah.
But I would love to see a hybrid shape. Maybe I'll let them know, and maybe like an all drive no drop collaboration. Just- they said Federico. I don't know if this is true, but they said Federico Stackstrud either left Joola because they wouldn't make him a signature paddle, or he left because he wanted to get out of Ben John's shadow. But how funny would it be if I come in and I get the all drive no drop hybrid paddle, could help design it. I just spitballing here. Let me see. I'm gonna send
So
Yola this
they
clip.
actually did talk about that briefly. Did I tell you about that when with the whole
No,
Stax
they
Root
they
thing?
talked about designing a paddle with me. No.
No, no, no. For Stax Root.
Okay.
I think they.
Oh,
So I think I might be slightly incorrect here, but from what I understand, they really wanted to keep Fed, and I think
I'm sure he's he's
they
good.
were potentially in talks for a signature pad. I could be wrong with that part, but I know the main reason Fed left wasn't even because of the money. I think Yola offered him more than Adidas. He just wanted to be out of um, Ben's shadow, which is why he
Oh,
left.
okay. That was the reason why. Okay.
That's what we heard from the employees, and then they're
Okay.
talking about how he was using the Yola paddle at where that PPA was, and then they're like, should we just send him one as like a joke? And they're like, no, he's providing us free marketing anyways, and he's gonna buy them. So yeah, just this is like the perfect advertisement for us right now. So like
I
Adidas is so bad, I went back to Yola.
I mean, it's true. It's kind of like the Kwang Dong situation where he put down a Selkirk and started using the Proton, and you're
Yeah.
like, of course, like sometimes you're like, did the company plan this, or is it really just like them like loving the paddle that much? You never know.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's interesting because I would say like off the court in like social media presence, Stackstrew doesn't really have anything that I know of, or at least I haven't seen him do anything. I mean, obviously on the court he has his antics for sure, especially this past weekend at the PPA. It seems like
Yeah.
every weekend he's at a tournament, he's involved in some drama and some line calls and arguing with judges. So you got I guess you kind of have like a bad boy marketing maybe. I don't know. He's definitely not the hero of the story and usually.
Mhm.
But I understand like there's no way you can overshadow Ben Johns, right? So, but if someone's like it depends what the money is, and also obviously the paddles aren't equivalent either. I mean, is it really that bad to live in the shadow if you're getting paid for it and you're winning? And I mean, if he kept winning, I think he was. I don't know what he finished as, but I know he was number one in men's doubles for a while, and
Yeah.
obviously singles. I mean, if you keep doing that, you're not going to be in the shadow forever. I mean, I get it. It's Ben Johnson. He's not going anywhere, but I feel like you could coexist, like do some commercials together or something. I don't know. I don't know
Mhm.
if they like each other either, though. That's probably the part of the problem. So maybe
Could
they're
be.
not homies. I don't know. Uh, Also coming up, and I think there's a release date on this. Let me double check. The Gearbox, basically, Gearbox has a paddle coming to replace their Pro Power. It's going to be the Pro Power Ultimate, and do they get? I don't know. I thought they had a release date on this. Maybe they didn't.
Yeah, I
It
think I know
is
at least the
March
second one.
18th.
Okay.
March 18th.
Oh, that is
March 18th.
soon.
275, same price. So basically, a little bit with their ultimate technology, and do they have? I think it's a 14. Yeah, so
Yeah,
14,
it's a
just like
14.
the Pro Power. So I imagine just toned down, and it's going to be quiet approved. So just toned
Okay.
down in that power and pop, I'm guessing. But we'll both have those soon, and we'll talk more about those. But if you're a big Gearbox fan, stay tuned for that. Yeah, looking forward to checking that out. And then let's just move into What the Pickle, sponsored by Enhanced Pickleball, maker of the Dink Master Pro. Something I hope to move out of my basement soon because I've been getting a lot of use in the basement. But as the weather warms up and I can get it into my driveway, it's going to be a lot better for me. Just get more room. It's what I practice like every day with it, just because I can get the quick like 5-10 minute sessions while my kids are running around in the basement. I can sit there and hit the paddle and get some practice in. So I love it. You were outside the other day with yours, right? Or
Yeah.
is
Well, I
that
come.
always where you keep it?
I keep mine in the garage, so I just
Okay.
put on my winter jacket and I'm like in there.
Okay, I got you. All right, so what the pickle today, and I had a few ideas, but this one really just is. It's been sticking with me. It's when people say this. It's when people say the score really quietly, and you
Hmm.
just can't hear them. And I feel like I know it's probably not that big of a deal, but sometimes I'm not paying attention, and then things just get lost in translation, and I don't know what the score is, and I'm like, well, what do you think the score is? Because like I can't hear you, and then I'm asking my partner, you know what the score is? And they just kind of look at me like, why aren't you paying attention? And I'm like, well, can you hear? Can you hear what they're saying? Like, I have no idea. But yeah, just I know indoors too, it can be hard because the sound's not always the best. There's a lot of noise going on, some echo. Is this something that affects you, or is this just me?
I think it's just you. I mean, I don't. So for me, it's not the score being quiet. It's people that just forget the score. Specifically, my own partner when they keep asking me what the score is, and I'm just like, why aren't you paying attention? You're the one serving. You should be calling it out, man.
But you do know there is a rule that one person can call the score of the entire game for the team. So you could just take control and be like, hey, you don't need to call the score of this game. I'm doing it.
Okay.
Which I've asked people to do before. I remember one time, like, I lost my voice. Like, it wouldn't go past a certain level. And I'm like, can you just call the score for us? And every time they were like, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Nope. They never remember. I'm like, oh, come on. Like, help me out. I was actually, so thinking about this, I was thinking, like, I want to gather a list of all the complaints I've seen on Reddit and throughout life. And then I want to rank them, like, what's the most annoying thing on the pickleball court to the least annoying. So maybe next episode, sometime in the future, I want to do a list ranking the most annoying things. So drop that in the comments, the most annoying thing on the pickleball court for you. And then maybe we'll do a list of the best things on the pickleball court. I got to
Yeah.
counterbalance that negativity
Okay.
with some positivity.
You can react to those. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, but yeah, that's it. That's it for that. Not too super hot. Not like a milk and cereal situation, but maybe we got something for you spicy here. I don't know. David, what's your hot take this week?
All right, so we'll alternate it. So we'll do a pickleball one this week.
Okay,
Do
pickleball
another
one. All right.
food one
People
next
love
week.
the non-pickleball one.
Yeah. All right. So for mine, I think the serve like needs to be nerfed a bit. I don't think it needs. I think it's more not that it needs to be like softer, but I'm like I have the opinion that like once you start like weaponizing the serve and you start like acing people, that's just not fun for anyone. Like there's four people on the court. If you're ripping aces on someone, like it really is not fun for anyone to play with because you're there for some longer points. Like that's what pickleball is, like getting up to the kitchen, having those like getting your patterns, getting that like sort of chess match of like where you're placing things. But like once you get to the point where everything is just ripping a winner off your serve, I just don't think it's fun. And like on top of that, like I know some people are going to say that it might be sort of a skill issue, like oh you should just get your receive better. But the thing is, like it's not tennis where like if your serve is weak, like in tennis, like if you hit a weak serve, like they're just going to hit the winner off the return. But I feel like if you hit like a mediocre serve or even like a weak serve in pickleball, they can't hit a winner off you. Like that's very, very difficult to do. And if they do, props to them. But I just think that the way pickleball is designed, the serve's just meant to get the point started. And then that, it just needs to go over the net. And then the receive is rarely in a spot where like it makes a third like so difficult on you. Even when I've played like higher level players, like I don't think I've ever been pushed so back so hard that I can never hit a third. Like worst case, like if it's a tough shot, I can drive it and then get to the fifth. So it's just I don't think the serve needs to be so like dangerous and like even like at the pro level and especially at the amateur level, it's just never regulated. Like I see people hitting it like way too high or like their motion is going straight. Um, and it's just I think there's something needs to be done with the rules where it gets regulated a bit more.
Interesting. Yeah, that one's I feel like always going to plague pickleball as an issue of how you enforce the serve rules, how you regulate it. I think the only way you can truly like regulate and nerf it is go to the drop serve.
Yeah.
But even then, you'll probably have an issue with, oh, did you apply downward pressure and bounce the ball? But probably still harder to, weaponize the serve. I know some people, whatever, they have amazing drop serves. I haven't found it as big of an issue lately, especially as we've like started reining in these power paddles. Once they get rid of the mod, I think maybe it won't be a problem for me. That's really the only paddle that I'm like, dang, that serve is a monster. It's because they're using a mod. But without the mod, without like the ripple, I haven't faced too many serves. But I agree, like if there's ever a point where like someone's winning a lot of points off their serve, then it kind of makes it too much like tennis. And I think we all left tennis, or at least those that are ex-tennis players left tennis because I love being at at the net, having all four people there. It's definitely like the most fun part of
Yeah.
pickleball to me. So that's something. But I do like to go for big serves. So, but I understand. Like I love to do the spin serve back in the day. I understand why they took it out. I think it is probably better for the game because you want people to be up at the net together.
Yeah.
That's where all the body bags happen. So come
Yeah.
on, that's unless you get the nasty Nelson. But
Well, when I did play James Ignatovic, I mean, he was using a power air, and he was just acing the crap out of us. Like, it wasn't like we couldn't touch the balls, like we could still touch it, but
hmm
just like at that pro level, like we could not handle it. He just had to tone it down for us, and all three of us were
gotcha.
just struggling with the second he started trying.
Yeah, I think that's like yeah, that's just a skill thing. It's like
Yeah,
there are always going to be people that will have a certain skill to their serve, no matter what you do. And I mean, he's a pro, so
yeah.
we're not gonna see that action. All right, all right. I feel like people won't get too hot and bothered about that one. I feel like that's one. There'd be
All
someone that'd
right.
be like, "Come on, you need to get better, bro. Come on."
Yeah,
But
dude, Tickle, your duper is only a 4-2, man. You gotta get better at
that's a
this.
weak duper, bro. Dude, also, I've been like looking at duper lately, and I don't know if they like tweak the algorithm or something, but it seems like people's matches just like don't go up and down. So I feel like you'd have to play like 10, 20 matches to even move up like point 0.2 points. It doesn't, even when they're playing like teams that are similarly rated or they beat a team that's higher rated, it just doesn't seem like people move that much these days. I don't know if they updated it or what, but
I don't
that's,
know. Duper keeps logging me out, and then so whenever I turn the app on,
oh
I'm just
my
like,
gosh,
oh well, no,
that's
I don't want to
that's
use
the
it.
sa- that's the same thing to me. And then like I
Yeah.
type in the password and they're like, no, not the right password. I'm like, no, I know it's the right password. I'm like, I don't even care. I'm like, I don't think I've played a duper match in the last like I don't even know like 4 months or something. So
Hmm.
my reliability score is going down too. Uh, but yeah, I wish it was better and more used because I do like the idea of like, hey, we're organizing a tournament. We could like do it by like say like 4.5 to 4.75 or 4.0 to 4.25. You could do like a tighter range if you had more people using it and it was more
Hmm.
accurate. I think that would make for better tournaments,
Yeah.
but or even better like leagues or groups or whatever. It's just like you can assign people based on their duper, but it's just not. I don't think it's like either they don't have enough data or it's just the algorithm. Something's weird with the algorithm. I don't know. It does too at work where like the higher rated player gets more credit for the win, but then if you lose, the lower rated player gets more blame for the loss. So like if you're the lower rated player on the team, you're like pretty much just screwed anyway
Uh,
because you're going to barely move up, but you'll go down even more. So I don't know. It's a weird system. I've seen a lot
yeah.
of complaints about it. I haven't seen many people being like, "Yeah, I love Duper," but I mean, it's pretty much the best system we have. So at the end of the day, what can you do? Moving on. So if you are looking to watch some good games, the PPA in Arizona last week was really good. Three or all the doubles, the mixed doubles, the men's doubles, and the women's doubles all went to 5 games. Amazing games, great stuff to watch. Singles, don't even watch it. Terrible. Don't watch the singles. But mixed doubles, oh man, the girlies, I think they choked. I think they choked again. I honestly thought they were gonna do it, but Annalie, Catherine Parental beat them in 5. The girlies were up in game 4, and then they just choked it, and then they lost 11-1 in the 5th game. It was pretty brutal. And they were eating Catherine up for a bit, and then like they were slowing it down, and they were going fast at Catherine. I don't know. It's got to be brutal to like just keep running into the same team, and you just can't get over. I mean, they have beat them, but it's like not at a high percentage. Like it's got to be brutal to just keep running into that wall. Any tips for the girlies out there?
No, for me, no. As we just mentioned, my duper is 4-2, so I don't think they'll care what I have to say.
I feel like this. I feel like it's a mental thing, though. I don't think it's like a gameplay tip. Um, but yeah, and then men's doubles, we saw the first time partnership between Ben Johns and Gabe Tardio, and they made it to the finals, but just couldn't get the. Elshon's playing really good right now. The Elshon and Daskew 1-5, 11-5, 11-1, 10-12, 5-11, 11-7. And they're just playing really well. I think that's back to back for Elshon and Daskew, I think. So on a streak. Johns and Tardio just they got some things to work out. You definitely could feel like I mean it's just hard. I mean obviously they still made it to the finals and played well, almost got
Mm.
it, but just some middle balls and some I think Gabe kind of got like scared in the moment a little bit, and Ben had to take over a little bit at times. They'll work it out. I think I think that it's more fun to see like this different pairing in the finals. And like anytime it's Ben and Colin, I feel like they suck the fun out of things.
Yeah.
But now with a more aggressive and you know just a different team, and then Elshon Daskew's a different pairing too. Like it's more fun to see a little variety for me. Last year I kind of like just tuned out because it's like the same thing over and over, and
Yeah.
just couldn't do it. And
Do you
then
see
women,
do you see
go
Alshon
ahead, go
get
ahead.
booed for cheering at Gabe?
No, I must have missed that part. What was he cheered like? What happened?
So Gabe makes like an unforced error, and then just
Okay.
Alshon gets in his face and starts cheer like like screams at him, and the whole crowd just boos Alshon until like the next serve. And that just kind of reminded me of like last week when we were talking about like, oh, what's one thing that upsets you on the court? And I was like, I hate it when people cheer at my unforced errors. And it just happened. I was like, yep, that was well deserved right there.
Oh, that actually triggers some memories for me too. Yeah, Maddie Rutledge, bro. Come on, come on, come on. But anyway, yeah, like to scream at someone after an unforced error, which Anna Lee does all the time, too. I think it's crazy. Like I could not imagine me like someone misses a dink in the net. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I would feel like such an idiot. Like I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, I guess if they did it to me, maybe I like come back and do it to them. But I just I could not do it. I thought it was a little wild that it was like people are like, yeah, cheer those unforced errors. And I'm like, I guess if that's what you want to do, and some of the pros are doing it, like in the women's doubles, Anna Lee did it. Like she hit a net cord and she screamed like towards Anna Bright, and I swear Anna Bright's like, you be like under her like. You could just see it as she's mouthing it. I don't know if
Mhm.
can I say that on YouTube? Anyway,
You'll get demonetized.
okay, not
Yeah.
gonna say it, but basically call her the B word, and then yeah, and then like I don't know, like I would be pretty angry too if someone's screaming at me if like I just missed my third, like, or what if I missed my serve and they're like screaming, like obviously you had no impact on me missing my serve, right? And I miss it and you're like, yeah, I'm like, what?
Like I get the crowd doing it, and I think like it's normal. Like when you go to like a football game, and the
Yeah,
team misses a field goal, but you never really like someone misses a free throw. You don't see the other players get in your face. It's like the crowd, and I think the crowd is
yeah,
fine.
I yeah, it's hard because I know people are making the analogies to like the basketball and football, and you missed a field goal, you missed a free throw. The crowd is going to cheer, but yeah, like you're saying, like in basketball, the players aren't like, yeah, you missed it. Like unless
Yeah,
it like is for the game, then I understand. Like
yeah,
yeah, go wild, but not like okay, it's like 3-2, and then I miss a dink, and you're like, yeah, it's
yeah.
but go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it to me on the court. I'm gonna get amped up. I maybe we'll have to get me mic'd up on the court with someone heckling me because I can get loud too. And then what mixed doubles? Bright and Anna Bright and Deckle Barr beats Ben Johns and Anna Lee, and Ben Johns was heated. This wasn't in the finals either.
Yeah, it was
He was
semifinals, right?
heated. He
Mhm.
was heated after. I don't know what he was yelling. This one I could not lip read, but he was like he was yelling at himself. So probably just not used to losing mixed. I think I forgot what their streak was. I think they said like 9 in a row. They were on fire. Like,
March 2024 was the last time they lost, I believe.
jeez, yeah, that's crazy. Like they are just so dominant in mixed. Like that's the one. If I see them in the finals, I don't even tune in because I'm like, they just never close usually. But they lost, and then Brighton Bar could not finish the job.
Yeah,
This one was unfortunate too. So Anna Bright, she had a long day. I think they were saying it was like 10 hours between her first match and last match. So she had a long day out there and came away with 2 silvers. So that's it's a good day for most people, but I am pretty sure she was not happy with the result.
yeah.
Interesting too. I didn't think Deckle Bar would be able to make the finals with her,
I didn't think
then
that either.
almost win. But I guess they have like it seems to work. There are times though where Deckle, so like he has a lot of length, but he is not the quickest laterally on the court, and he does like overextend, hit dink into the net, and just sometimes he's not able to get back fast enough. But an interesting partnership. We'll see if I don't know if they're signed up for more. I would figure like, I'm surprised she doesn't play with Diescu or Elshon. I feel like with those two are better than Deckel and
I
should
agree
have
with
better
you on that.
chances.
Yeah.
And she's played with Diescu. I don't think she's played with Elshon, but she's played with Diescu and
She's playing with
more.
Alshon.
She has played with Elshon?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like, I don't know. I figure she, I just, think she would have a better chance because sorry, I didn't say who they lost. They lost to the Johnsons. Johnsons always come around and get a win here and there. They seem to either be very hot or very cold when I watch them, but they're playing good. Georgia's playing really good. JW, I don't know who he played with in doubles. Men's doubles. I didn't see him on the stream at all.
Oh, I forgot.
I don't know if him and Dylan played, but
No, it wasn't Dylan.
He didn't play with Dylan. He must have not made it far because I didn't see him. And just a shout out for the men's singles, it was Ben Johns. Women's singles, it was Anna Lee over Buckner. Buckner did get the first game, so a little bit of testing, and then. But yeah, that was it. Some good games if you want to go watch any of those. I believe everything's up on YouTube now, so you can go check that out. And then anything else on the PPA? I think they have another one coming up too.
Yeah.
Maybe not this weekend, but the weekend after.
So question for you, did you see, was Ben using the Pro 4 paddle at all, or was he using something else?
Yeah, I think he was using the Pro 4. So he's using the Pro 4 in doubles, but he's using the Gen 2 in singles. He's playing a lot of cat and mouse in singles, so I think he wanted that added touch.
Yeah,
That's just my opinion of why, because that's the only reason I can think of. Because obviously everyone else in singles is trying to use the most powerful paddle they can, and then he kind of went against the grain there a lot and went with something softer. So it'll be interesting to see because they're going to come out with new all-court paddles supposedly because they're going to sunset that. But if he's doing really well in singles and likes using that paddle, that'll be interesting to see. If he's like, "Hey, wait a second, don't sunset this one. I'm winning with it. Let's rethink it. Maybe a reskin or something."
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. I haven't used one of the Gen 2 Joolas in a bit, so. But it'll be interesting to see if they come out with a nice, all court something. I don't know how they'll retweak it, maybe it'll be similar to what they're doing with the 3S to the Pro 4. I don't know. Just a little, tweaks and upgrades, but not a completely different paddle. Or it'll be maybe they got something in the works that'd be cool. A different face material or something. I don't know. But yeah, moving on to some paddle talk. Also, just a quick mention, I guess, trying out the Yobo massage gun. I don't think there's a huge difference between massage guns. I imagine they all kind of do the same thing. The good thing about this one is it's really small, so I can throw it in my bag. And actually, I should have brought it to work today. For some reason, my lower calf was just tightening up and then started hurting, and I haven't had that happen. But I was like, oh, I used it right when I got home, and it felt better. But have you had that happen before? It was really strange. It just started happening.
My calf, no.
Yeah. If anyone's had that happen, let me know how you fix it. Maybe.
Or else we're gonna have to get Dustin on here.
Yeah.
Let's get
Dustin
school.
on here. We should have Dustin. I'm surprised he doesn't. Well, that might get him in trouble if he has Dustin's medical corner. That's probably a lawsuit waiting to happen. Never mind. Scratch that idea. Don't want to go ask Dustin for all your pickleball medical advice. I don't want to give any out. But first, we'll talk about the Thrive Smoke. And Thrive Smoke I don't think they put out a release date on this one.
No, I don't remember that either.
0.5 millimeter core, something, this one's the charged PP polypropylene, right? That's
the macro charged PP core.
Macro,
it is.
Okay. Macro charged PP core. We'll still have to figure out what that is. But, they went a little simpler on their design this time. So if you're a fan of the minimalist design, I believe this is the smoke. Right here.
Oh.
It'd been interesting if it was all the smoke. Pretty gritty too. 119 swing weight, 6.1, 6 twist weight. Get a measurement on this handle real quick.
Looks like 5.5.
I would say it's a 5.75. You get 6 inches kind of going up to the USA piece, so 5.75 I'll give it. Plenty of room for 2-handed backhand. I was feeling good. Which one's that?
Oh, this is the Yo. I was just comparing a 5.5 to Just double check your math over here.
It's a little longer, right?
Yeah, it is. I think it's mostly the taper.
Yeah, yeah. So I actually I'm on an elongated kick right now, kind of by just like circumstance of what I've been testing. Well, I was doing the hybrids, and now I'm doing the elongated. It really works better for me when I can just do all elongated
Yeah.
at once. And I liked it. I liked it. Not as powerful as the Joola 3S and probably the Pro 4 and the Paddletex, but I would give it in that power paddle category, but like below those ones. And it is, the sweet spot. I would say it might play a little bit above the twist weight. I added, so they throw in 3 gram lead strips, so I added it here. I probably would have preferred it more spread out and maybe going up to here, but I was just trying what they give. Also, I was paranoid about touching the lead the whole time because I had 2 hands. I was touching it, and I was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have put it here," but I did, and it played. I liked it with this setup. It played a lot better with the weight. It did feel like maybe a little bit not. Just I'm not used to the longer handle and the maneuverability right now. Sometimes in the hands battles, but yeah, I was smacking the crap out of this with my drive, so it felt good. Not too stiff either. Definitely less stiff than the Joola 3S and the Paddletex. What'd you feel about it? I know you got a little bit of time. That that dust pattern looks pretty good.
I know.
I
erased all the bottom parts here, so
keeping it
it looks
tight.
nice.
Yeah.
I do it before every time I film. I like just go through, just get the bottom.
Oh yeah, you're
parts
like,
off.
yeah. I saw someone did a video. They're like, this is a pro ball pattern, and then this is amateurs, and they're like, see, it's just nice and tight. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I use the whole paddle face, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I was trying to get my ball dust pattern like right in this target area and then erase around it.
That one
doesn't
really pick up the.
Yeah, it
the
doesn't pick it up.
Don't really pick it up as well. They don't pick up the dust as much.
But yeah, the smoke. I just thought it was like a slightly more powerful Gen 2. It still felt Gen 2-esque to me. Like it feels more like a Gen 2 than it does Gen 3.
Oh yeah.
But for me, in terms of like the feel, I didn't think it was anything special. Initial reaction, it's just, I think it's okay. I don't think it's anything special right now, but obviously I've only hit it for half a game. I spent the other half of the game hitting the engage. So I won't comment too much on it, but so far, out of the box, I don't think it's too special right now. Macro charge PP is not doing it for me.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh, I will show too. I think you got the. Did you get the blue core box from Diadem?
No, I didn't get that. You guys all got that. I feel left out.
You didn't get it?
No.
I thought you were on the list.
If I did, maybe it's in my mailbox or something. It's like freezing.
It might be. So mine got delayed quite a bit too. So maybe yours got delayed too. It got caught up something because like everyone got theirs before. But really, it's not that big of a deal. So this is like the core, I guess. It kind of feels like styrofoam. But there you go. That is the core that they're coming out with. No, you can go check out my interview, and was it I think 2 podcasts ago with the co-founder.
Yeah.
If you want to hear more on that, but feels like styrofoam to me.
It looks like the Tesseract from the Avengers movies.
There you go. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I know I'm one of the few that I'm not really like into the Avengers and whatever the other stuff is. I'm not a movie guy. I'm not a movie guy. But anyway, that's the core. I think this came in a box with a blue Warhead Laffy Taffy, a blue stress ball, and a blue leveler. So look forward to that if you get it. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And the box was a blue. Imagine that.
Yeah, I want that Laffy Taffy now. I'm craving it.
Yeah. Well, my son took it. He took a bite and threw it in the trash. He said that's disgusting, so I never got to try it. So, what can you do? Yeah, I was like, I didn't even. So I wonder if it was sour because I thought it was a Warhead one. I haven't had a Warhead in a long time. Did you ever have Warheads when you were a kid?
Yeah, I love those things.
They still make those?
Yeah, they taste really good with milk. You just like dip them in milk.
I can't take you seriously. Other stuff, and hopefully we can get David some of these soon. Is the Technifibre paddles? They have these in elongated, hybrid, and wide body, but they're not all like the same. Like what is it? The hybrid is Kevlar, and then the other two are carbon fiber, but they're all 15 millimeters. So.
Okay.
This is the Blitz. I didn't play with any of the other ones, but because I was just playing elongated. But the Blitz is quite nice. 6-inch handle, quite a long handle. You know, let's compare it to where'd the smoke go? Let's see who's longer. Yeah,
Looks good. Looks
yeah,
good. The Blitz.
that's a true 6-incher right there.
Mm-hmm.
The Blitz it's nice and dense. It's like it's just an all-core paddle that has a pretty good sweet spot and feels pretty good. So yeah, like this isn't anything special per se, but if you really like a dense feel and you want something that performs good all core, I like the design. What do you think about the design?
Very simplistic. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, simplistic. I like the design. I put probably like 8 inches from the throat of 1 or 0.5 gram per inch strip up here, just to help it. It was a little, like lower on the twist weight. It was like, let's see, the Blitz is 123 swing weight, so a little bit on the higher side. 5.86 twist weight. The Select, which is the hybrid, didn't get to play this yet, but this is Kevlar. 16.3 inches by 7.7. I think that's pretty similar. It doesn't have the taper, but pretty similar dimensions to the 6.0 double black diamond, because these are like this. So I should say too, these are designed with 6.0. Technifibre is a French tennis company that's kind of breaking into it, and these were designed in collaboration with 6.0. So that's why you have a 6.0 logo, and then the Technifibre up top. Technifibre did bring in their handle technology. It's like a gel to like weight it and soften it. I like the handles. I'm not really a handle snob, but these handles felt pretty good. And then the Select was 112 swing weight, 6.43 twist weight. The Command, the wide body, 110 swing weight, and the 6.81 twist weight. These are all, I don't know. They're selling these on like different sites, so the price may vary. I got like 210 around for most of them, but they're not selling them on like Pickleball Central. They're selling them on like Pickleball Warehouse. I think Pickleball Galaxy, and not their own site yet. But I think there's going to be some discounts in the future they're working on, so maybe hold off if you're interested in those, and then more to come on that. But so far, I was impressed with the elongated. Is a little like, I don't love having the 6-inch handle. I know, but I know people do like it, so I was playing with it. It was probably what I would choose to play with if I was going to choose a 6-inch handle elongated, just because I felt like the sweet spot was still good enough, because usually that's what happens when you get that 6-inch handle. It's like the face is too small in the sweet spot, but this still felt like it wasn't too jarring on the off-center hit, so I still like.
Would you like it better than, or do you like it better than the Hirachi shape from Lone 624?
I'll have to compare it side by side, but just from my experience with it, I played better with this Technifibre one. But I'll have to see. I don't know if I have I was going to say if I have the Hirachi around, because I wonder like how different the shape is. I don't think I have. Do I have a Hirachi around here? You would think I would.
It's like all the way over there. I can't reach it.
I'm trying to remember. It's like a crown. Oh no, it's like
no, that's a monarch.
Hexagon.
Yeah, there's like two of them like glued together.
I don't think I have the Hirachi. I got other ones, but I got the Vapor, got the Pegasus. I don't know where would the Hirachi be? Oh, is that the Hirachi? Nope, that's the Vapor. I don't know. I will compare those for next time. That's an interesting thing, though. Because I wonder, I'll have to compare it to like the Hirachi Alt Court. See which one I prefer. That's all the paddle thoughts I had. I'm gonna turn it over to you for some Joola Pro 4
Oh yeah,
action.
I was actually hitting the Pro 4 and I guess the Agassi style. So I know Christy from her channel, like she corrected me, like the graph isn't a shorter handle, it's just a smaller circumference. So I was hitting these side by side, and I think when I
Okay.
was in Vegas, I thought I liked the Agassi shape better. I think it's more like top heavy, like metrics wise, they're about the same, but basically
Okay.
the only really change is like it's more top heavy and it's like a lot more unstable down here.
Hmm.
And I just definitely felt that like the balance just kind of felt off. Like if you're used to an elongated paddle, like it takes a bit to get used to. Like even though the metrics are the same, I think just like the whole balance and like how it plays just feels different compared to this. Like you can't interchangeably switch these two side by side. This one
Gotcha.
just felt more head heavy. And I will say, I think this might be one of the cases where like putting a flick weight on here might actually help.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
because I've got tape here, but it just still feels a bit unstable. So I have one flick weight left because I only got two. I think I'm gonna try it on this one and we'll see how it goes. Though this like the Yola thing is kind of weird. Like it's like metal here. I actually don't know if the flick weight's gonna stick.
Huh.
It's like metal and like sticks
Okay.
out a bit and like it already protrudes from the butt cap. So
So is it something like they put on the butt cap? You think like extra, or
that's
is
what it actually feels like that because it
like you think
feels
you
like
could
it's
take it
extra on
off if
top.
you tried?
Oh, I don't think I can take it off, but
Okay.
it's like stuck on there. So
Okay.
but yeah, not too
Okay.
many thoughts on these. Like I kind of hit them side by side with the 3S that you gave me, and it's just I just play so similar. And if
Yeah.
anything, like I mean I don't do like actual power tests, but in terms of like overall
Mm-hmm.
feel, like there's less power and less pop on these compared to the 3S, but like a very very small amount.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they're basically the same thing. It's just the feel is slightly softer and just like a little bit more control. But other than that, if you like the 3S, you'll like these, and if you don't like the 3S, there's no reason to check these out.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough. I'm sure people will be buying those up.
Yeah. I
The
mean, the 3S is still
3S is,
popular still.
oh yeah, it's easily the most popular paddle. Like I don't see how anyone could argue against it.
Yeah.
It's just it's in every facility. Any facility that sells paddles, they have demos of it. That probably leads to more people buying it, and
Yeah.
it's everywhere. So I'm sure we will see even more Yolas on the courts. And then, yeah, um, I had I had something. It was in the back of my mind, but I can't remember, so it must not have been too important. Any other paddles you wanted to talk about? Any upcoming videos? What you got planned coming up?
I think I talked about this a bit last time, but since Diola's March 4th, I think that's next Tuesday, I'll be hitting. I've been hitting that all week, so gonna just do like a first look and then compare that with some of the other big releases. So I'll have like the Engage in there. I know you just did that one. So I'll have that Pro one, and then probably not the Thrive. I don't think I'll have time for that one, but I'll have probably the Franklin C45, 11624 power. So just like what are the big releases? We're kind of comparing like how things stack up against the Joola Pro 4. That would
Okay.
probably be my big one. And then shortened week for me because I'm actually going to Austin, Texas this tomorrow
All right.
for vacation, and I'm going to be meeting up with Brian Lim from Building Pickleball, so that'll be fun. We're going to get some
Okay.
games in.
Okay.
Maybe if there's any other content creators, and you guys watch this, like let me know. Might be able to hit you guys
I
up.
d- yeah, I don't I can't think of anyone else that's in Texas, but maybe I'm missing
Yeah, I don't
someone.
think they're like reviewers, but I know they're like people that just have like
Okay,
Instagram
yeah,
or
there's
something.
content creators
Yeah,
out there.
yeah,
Okay, okay. That'd be pretty cool. And don't get in any trouble with Brian out there. We know
yeah.
Brian was a little naughty this week. We'll talk about
Uh,
it.
yeah, this way we
But
both get in trouble now.
yeah, just don't get in trouble with him,
Yeah,
okay? We can't be having Yola start attacking us now.
yeah.
But you also met up. I forgot to mention this earlier. We were
Oh
talking
yeah.
about it before the show. But you did meet up with John from Speak Pickleball. How'd that go? It looked like you guys kind of had a date or something going on.
Yeah, basically it was a blind date. So I
Okay.
originally Last time I was in New York, I hit up Wes, the owner of Mark Pickleball, and
Okay.
I hit him up again, but he's actually, he was in Hawaii last weekend for his bachelor party, and
Mm.
I know he had mentioned that like John, he plays with him, so I thought, huh, I don't really know this guy, but I'll hit him up anyway. So I hit up John, and then we probably sent like 10 DMs to each other, and I was like, hey, do you wanna play with me? And then he was like, all right. But the tough thing is, I guess the thing with these like big cities like New York is it's just so hard to get court time, especially because John
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a lifetime member, and he tried really hard to like find which facilities. And then the other issue was because I was also heading back on the train that day, I needed a facility that had a shower, or else find a place where I could shower so I could not be smelly on the
Yeah.
train and my,
Mm-hmm.
not get in trouble with my wife. But yeah, it was just like so hard to find a court there, and I guess there was outdoor options, but I also didn't want to be out there in the cold. So, it was tough, but we decided to just get lunch. And as I was texting him to the restaurant, I was just like, hey, yeah, carrying a duffel bag and wearing a black coat. And then when we see each other, like, man, this feels like a blind date. Like, we don't really know each other, and now we're meeting
Yeah.
up. But very nice guy. I just was curious to learn like where he came from in his background. For those of you unfamiliar, John runs Speak Pickleball, so they have an Instagram account, and they're primarily it's like a website with like a lot of news on what's going on in the paddle world, updates with like paddles that are coming out, things with companies, and doing interviews with people. So really cool website. So it was just like nice to see like his point of like how he's been growing and what his plans are. So yeah, fun time. So I know John watches this. So hey, John.
All right, cool. Maybe we'll have him on sometime and he can tell us more. I know I've talked to him even less than you have. I've talked to him a couple times, but I've seen the stuff popping up here and there. So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. That it's easy if you do like a blind date pickleball because you don't even have to talk. You could just play. But
Yeah,
if you're having lunch, it's like you guys are staring at each other. Luckily, I feel like if you're both super into pickleball, the conversation's just it's pretty easy for the conversation to flow because you got the main thing in common, right? So
yeah.
it's not too bad.
We
It's
were
not
just
too
like,
bad.
man, Lewis, you need to wear some longer pants, man. That was what we kept talking about. It's like it's too distracting when we're trying to watch your videos.
No comment. I anytime I've tried to wear shorts well, I don't think I've ever worn shorts that short, but every time it's like getting too short for me, it's just very uncomfortable for me. Like they ride up, and I mean, like you see the same thing. Like people are if they wear short shorts, they're always like pulling their shorts up or pulling them down. It's like they get bunched up too easily, and it's just not for me. Like I don't. Yeah, I can't. I, I can't. I don't even want to think about it now. Like I'm picturing his short shorts. I don't want. Did he say why he likes the short shorts
I
so
didn't
much?
ask.
Okay.
I just asked what
I'm
color he
I'm
was gonna
gonna
wear.
I'll have to ask him. I'm like, like I feel like he's too far into it where like he can't change now the shorts, but maybe like you could throw on some pants once in a while.
Oh, he did, and we didn't know who it was, so that was the issue.
No, that's true. You'd be like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, well, that'll be cool. You meeting up with Brian. Is he gonna interview you?
I don't know. I didn't ask him to. I just was asking if he wanted to
Okay.
play. But fun thing about
All right.
Austin, apparently, like I was asking if we could play somewhere, and he just listed like a ton of options that we could go to, and I was like, oh, well, they've got
Dude,
like
they're
a
like
big
the
scene there.
pickleball. I
Yeah.
don't know if they're the pickleball capital, but they got a ton of like all the
No,
pros were moving there for a second.
I'm like super excited to like check it out. Like it looks
Yeah.
really cool there.
Maybe you'll be moving there. I
No,
don't know.
no, 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 no,
No.
no. I gotta pay off this mortgage, man.
That's true. You lock in that low interest rate?
No, I'm like
Okay,
six point
never
six
mind.
two five. Shout out to
Well,
Bluestone Home Loans, who's managing my mortgage, but waiting for my when to use my free refinance on that.
hey, let's get that free refinance. That's a pretty good bonus though,
Yeah.
free refinance. All right. I think that is all for us this week. We kept it under an hour, I think, for the first time in like a while,
Yeah.
but it's almost an hour. I feel like some people like it long, some people don't. Now it's a good in between.
Yeah.
Keep everyone happy. Hopefully, I don't know. Any final words, David?
Nope.
Uh,
Yeah, nothing else for me.
All right, everyone have a great week. We will be back next week. Enjoy. Boom.